Lots of gaming news to go over, new big Ubisoft leaks, we got financial updates from many gaming companies that reveal more about their future plans, and way more, so good that you're joining the Sunday News Roundup, and let's go. A new and ambitious Far Cry game has entered development at Ubisoft, according to Tom Henderson, who of course has an amazing track record at Insider Gaming. The game is codenamed Kodiak and described as an open-world FPS where player interactions and player-driven stories take center stage. Which reads to me like a co-op or potentially PvP game where instead of Ubisoft creating story-driven missions or curated quests, random things can happen that create unique experiences. But don't worry, it's not an extraction game. In the same article, Tom notes that Project Maverick, an extraction shooter, has since been cancelled. In May last year, Tencent invested 1.25 billion euros in a new subsidiary from Ubisoft focused on Assassin's Creed, Far Cry and Rainbow Six. And while Assassin's Creed and Rainbow Six continue to bring in a lot of cash every year, Far Cry has been missing in action ever since Far Cry 6 in 2021. So their plan is to make a big comeback with multiple new titles. The first one is Project Blackbird, a more traditional Far Cry open world game. And while we know about many issues with its development, as the game was originally planned for a release this year but might now not come out until 2028, Insider Gaming reports that the game is now seemingly on a good path forward. It will also have a multiplayer component where more than one player can experience the world together, so I'm curious if this means that they're finally upping the amount to 4 players instead of 2. Internally, the game is described as honestly impressive and as Act 1, which implies more similar mainline Far Cry games could come if Blackbird is a success. I really think Ubisoft will return to Summer Game Fest next year and reveal this Far Cry while also showing Assassin's Creed Hexe and the new Ghost Recon. And potentially even the Splinter Cell remake, like they have a ton in the pipeline. Of course, let me know what you want to see from a new Far Cry game in the comments, and when we have updates on these Ubisoft games, I'll of course let you know here. Not surprising, but the Xbox financials were not great, with revenue plunging by $1.7 billion and hardware dropping 29% year over year. Their hardware not doing well is of course not surprising with the insane price increases thanks to the AI crisis. So their plan is to return to growth in this current financial year that just started in July 2027. Titles like Fable, Modern Warfare 4, Gears of War E-Day and all the Blizzard reveals planned for BlizzCon will of course help with that, next to the ongoing success of Candy Crush and Minecraft. But then planning to lay off another 1,600 employees, including getting rid of some of the studios, and this on top of the 1,600 employees that they already cut, and also the people that they cut that were not working for them directly but through vendor spend, will probably be the biggest way they plan to return to growth. And by 2030 they want to be halfway towards reaching their goal of 1 billion unique daily active users, while right now they have 100 million. So lofty goals they want to achieve by focusing on their biggest franchises and also creating film, television and other cross-media products around them. So we can totally expect like an Elder Scrolls series or something, maybe something Gears of War related. They want to invest way more into Minecraft by making it the #1 creation platform, so taking Roblox head on, which doesn't sound like a bad idea. So yeah, even though looking at this chart, Xbox is all the way at the bottom, making it the worst performing Microsoft division, the company is not giving up on it and is heavily investing in it to hopefully restore it to its former glory, which in the end will only be good for the gaming industry. And we're really seeing that with Sony right now. Without any real console competition, they can make a lot of anti-consumer decisions and not really feel repercussions from that. So again, having a healthy Xbox will be good. Well, let's move on to way more gaming news. Of course, leave a like, that would really help me out, and subscribe, because I post one of these big gaming news roundup videos every Sunday. Now time for quick shots, news stories I will go over quickly with an update on the PlayStation disc situation. Capcom is doing really well, but first, Assassin's Creed Odyssey is seeing a huge renaissance thanks to Christopher Nolan's movie with the same name. Two different analytics firms shared their data, which shows a huge bump after the movie premiered, going to 233,000 daily active users, mostly on Xbox and PlayStation, thanks to the inclusion of the game in Game Pass and PlayStation Plus. But I think what's even more interesting is the fact that even before the movie, Odyssey had 122,000 daily active players. The game is almost 8 years old, but it's still played by an insane amount. And I've been getting some flack on Twitter, which is not weird if you have a different opinion than the common consensus. It doesn't really bug me, but what I've been saying there is that there for sure will be an Assassin's Creed Odyssey remake at some point. I'm not saying that the game needs it, although I think the graphical enhancements made with Shadows and Black Flag Resynced could totally benefit the ancient Greece setting. I'm just looking at it from Ubisoft's perspective. Assassin's Creed Shadows did not do as well as lead development team Ubisoft Quebec had hoped, so they will probably be making another RPG again, but that will be quite the gamble. A very low-risk project for them, however, to generate some much-needed profit would be going back to Odyssey, making new content for that game and bringing it up to modern standards. And maybe then even supporting it more post-launch while tinkering away at the next real game. I will explore this topic more in an JorRaptor video this coming week, so stay tuned. But yeah, overall, let me know if you've returned to Odyssey thanks to the Christopher Nolan movie, or if you would be going back in the future if they were to give it the resynced treatment. Let me know in the comments down below. Sony says that the PlayStation disc backlash is not giving any impact on the business. This from their new financial report, so they also have no plans to reverse course. They did note that they've been talking to retailers about the disc-free future and are suggesting that US retailers at least may still sell codes in the box, which then likely also applies to retailers in other regions. So you can still get a box collection, but this of course not a solution for many issues a digital-only future will bring, like the end of the second-hand market, offline play, and game preservation. But it seems like nothing will change, although, in between the lines, it does seem that Sony might maybe do a detachable disc drive for the PS6, so your old games at least work, etc. But nothing is concrete. Sony has already been investing $34 million into repurposing its EU PlayStation disc factory into one that will now make optical micro lenses, which are used for fiber optic networks and are crucial for AI to provide very fast data exchange capabilities. So by selling this to the AI companies, they will likely make tons of revenue from that, which could offset some of the players they will lose with this all-digital future. Let me know what you think of these updates, of course, in the comments. Now, Capcom remains on a roll. They had another strong quarter thanks to Resident Evil Requiem, passing 8 million units sold since its February 27 launch, while Pragmata hit 2.5 million since its April release. And it seems reasonable to believe that Pragmata will get a sequel as it's doing better than expected. Also, Devil May Cry 5 sold another 1.29 million copies in the last quarter, bringing its lifetime sales to 14.24 million. Which is insane, and this is thanks in part to the second season of the Netflix show, highlighting once again how cross-media can have a huge impact on a game franchise and why we will see more TV shows and movies based on game IPs. There are rumors that a Devil May Cry 1 remake is in the works, and we will probably see a new game at some point too. So this in combination with a new Resident Evil title each year, like they've done it before, they want to return to it right now. This will likely keep their revenue line going up. Their upcoming slate is insane, with Onimusha in September, the Dragon's Dogma 2 DLC in October, and the Monster Hunter Wilds expansion and Resident Evil Code Veronica in 2027. So they show no signs of stopping, at least for the next 12 months. Creators and press went hands-on with Marvel's Wolverine at the Insomniac office, and they're able to share their impressions on Thursday, August 13th, so we can expect a ton of new gameplay then as well. Insomniac also added 2 new suits to Spider-Man 2, one based on Marvel Token Fighting Souls, and one based on the A Brand New Day movie, of course. I watched it, I really liked it, but I don't think I liked it more than the other Tom Holland Spider-Man movies. I know for some people it's the top one. I think it's the bottom one for me. I think Homecoming is still the best one, but I don't know. I liked it, but it was kind of predictable. Still had a great time though. I would still recommend you go and see it. The update also added improved PSSR support, by the way, for PS5 Pro, and the power saver support, potentially for the upcoming PlayStation handheld. In the rumor roundup, I look at the biggest leaks and rumors of the week and rate them with stars. 3 being I believe it and 1 meaning let's take this with a huge grain of salt. So Nate the Hate has been reporting new insights this week, starting with GTA 6. He for one confirms that the game will arrive in November as planned and that we should expect quite some information on the game in August. The tweet was posted in July. So probably not during the Gamescom week. That would be brutal, taking the wind out of the other company's sails. No, I think it will then be early or mid-August instead. I will of course keep you posted. He also talks about Intergalactic and how the game is still intended for a 2027 release. So that would mean a pretty big year for Sony, with Laufey of course already dropping in February, Until Dawn 2 somewhere in there too, and we know that Venom has been rumored for a while as well. Another big 2027 game will of course be Hexay. We talked about the internal June 2027 target for that game, but it seems like it has been pushed, with Nate saying that the game won't launch until the second half of 2027 at the earliest. They don't need to rush a reveal or announcement, which I certainly agree with. So I never believed a Gamescom reveal was in the cards, and yeah, just don't expect it. I also think the Black Flag Resynced reveal to release window of like 2 months has been very lucrative for Ubisoft, so I would not be surprised if they follow something similar for Hexay next year. 3 stars for these rumors, as Nate has a very good track record. I'll of course keep you posted here. This coming week we're getting a new Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced patch, as the update has already been uploaded to the PlayStation database, which means a release is imminent. I could see this include the option to hide the blowpipe from our back, but overall expect more fixes and not like any big features like New Game Plus. Although the last update also added many secret changes, so will still be interesting to see if they add maybe more finishers or something like that. New PlayStation Plus Essential games will also be added, with the highlight being Dying Light 2 Reloaded Edition. These games will be available to download starting August 4th. Subscribe, leave a like, and I'll be back with a news roundup like this at the end of the week on Sunday. Goodbye.